G'day, bird nerds. I'm Grant. I am a bird nerd, also a plant nerd, trying something out just a little bit different today. And this is probably how I'll do first seen and heard as we go forward. Um, it's the 25th of April here in Wurundjeri country, the unceded lands of the Wurundjeri people, otherwise known as Melbourne, Naarm in Australia. And I'm just going to do my first seen and heards out to all the platforms live each morning, and then of course they'll be out as a video. I'll try and do it at around the same time each day, but that will depend on weather and whatnot. So hello if you're new here. All first seen and heard is me reporting on the first bird that I happen to hear and see wherever I am and at the time. Now today I'm at home and I can't report anything amazing today. I was out putting something in the recycling, and the first bird that I heard this morning was the house sparrow, and I heard it at the same time as I saw it. So, house sparrow, introduced invasive species. Normally I would say about the only finch that I see here, but that's not true. I also see tree sparrows here and occasionally goldfinches and greenfinches, but I don't see any native indigenous finches here at all. Hello to you on Twitter, and hello to you on Facebook and YouTube this morning. Now, that's first seen and heard done. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be back later in the day streaming. I've got to try and work out how to do vertical and horizontal at the same time and be able to use the same studio. So I'm playing around. That's why I'm missing a bit of a head here. My cropping isn't working as it was intended. I also put the wrong background up. It should be first seen and heard. But we'll play around with all of that and we'll get the vertical streaming under control. What I would really like you to do, if you're joining me when we do these live, is in the comments, because you can do that. You can comment and I will see them live. So why don't you tell me what the first bird you saw and or heard each morning is, or when we're going live, if it's the middle of the night where you are, tell me what you saw yesterday, and let's kind of share our local environments with each other. And what I really want to encourage you to do is just get your ears open and your eyes open and notice the things that you might often think are mundane. Because having birds around you is not a mundane thing. So that's all this is designed to do. Oh, I see more people popping in. Hello, welcome, first seen and heard. This is how I'm going to be reporting first seen and heards on most of the platforms. Now I'm going to do them live. I'll do them in the morning. I'll try and do them at approximately the same time. And as I work out the format of, because vertical is a bit different for me, how I usually have the whole studio set up, I'll try and get it so that I can just do it on the phone. Here we are. Each morning, and I can just do it from wherever I am, like I usually have been. Let me know if you like the change or you don't. That would be something else I would love to hear from you. It's Anzac Day here in Australia, which means it's quite a solemn day, but probably talk about this a little bit later, but it's increasingly a kind of weird day. It feels a bit weird the way it gets done here, with no sort of critical analysis about what it represents. And I don't want to take away from the bravery and the sacrifice of the individuals involved in the Anzac landing, because people reacted to how it was in that time period. I might say, I'm not casting shade on anyone. I mean, my grandfather and several uncles of mine. Well, my grandfather was in the First World War and actually received a military medal for being wounded in France. But it really feels weird the way we talk about Anzac Day now and disregard the whole colonial aspects of Australia's involvement in war and how it's applicable to the modern day. Anyway, I don't want to get to, because people will say you're disrespecting the war dead and whatnot. I'm not at all. I mean, my family went through it, and indeed, my grandfather lost lost the lower portion of his arm. Got a medal for that and some coloured bars and stuff like that. But yeah. Anyway, I really think. Anyway, it's a holiday here. I can't go to the supermarket till 1 p.m. and then there's a football match, which apparently is what Anzac Day has become here. Maybe a good time to reflect on the way we name birds. Thinking about the Major Mitchell's cockatoo, or even the Gordian finch. Yeah, or the princess parrot. Anyway, bird nerds, please, as we do this, I'm going to pop up in this squashed form each morning, talking about the first bird that I saw and heard each day from wherever I am, and today it's Melbourne in Australia. Pop in the comments, or, well, that's the best place to do it. Pop in the comments what your first heard bird or first seen bird is each day, and we can, share with each other. Oh, hello, Naomi. Thank you there for the Facebook love. I don't know if you caught the very start. My first heard bird this morning, house sparrow. First seen bird this morning, house sparrow. So introduced invasive species, which is what I tend to get here in Melbourne. It's really weird. It squashes the Facebook love and everything here, so it's a bit difficult to see. And as I play around a bit with this vertical studio, we'll get the squashiness and the proportions right, and also some backgrounds that I can show you. And I'm going to play around with sharing the eBird so that you can actually see the birds, and maybe depending on whether people are joining in, I might play the calls as well. And we might get around to recording the calls. We got a comment. Okay, Naomi, thank you for joining in on the spirit here. Okay, so up the top, that's where it's putting the comments. Okay, that's interesting. Today, Lewin's honeyeater. Widely, can you hear Loz outside? He's not happy this morning. Lewin's honeyeater, widely reported or described the call as like a machine gun call. I never thought it was that rapid or that harsh, but yeah, pretty distinctive. So well done, Naomi, for having the Lewin's honeyeaters at your place. And thank you, Naomi. Yes, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to everybody. Thanks for doing that, Naomi. That's what I would like people to do. If you're joining in, watching, please throw in your first heard bird and your first seen bird. And yeah, maybe we can make it more shareable over time. Oh, I better have a look. And I'm also going on Instagram. Oh, Naomi's on Instagram too. And Viv Fogg. Thank you, Viv Fogg, for popping in on the Instagram. I probably should have said it's difficult to comment on Instagram because it's behind the normal stream. And anyway, thebirdemergency.com/YouTube or thebirdemergency.com/Facebook are probably the best places to be, or the Twitters. There we go. I've managed to waffle for several minutes to just say house sparrow and house sparrow. Wherever you are in the world, please just listen and look for the everyday birds that are around you. And if you're out on a bird watching trip, that's even better. If you're seeing a lifer, let us know. If your lifer was the first bird you saw this morning, tell us that. Okay, I will be back in several hours' time to do a kind of a normal stream. I'm going to be a bit self-indulgent because it is a holiday, and I found some really interesting news pieces, and we'll talk about all of that. What's today, a Thursday? We'll also be doing something on Friday, and we'll be doing habitat gardening on Saturday, as normal. Well, hello all of you Twittery X's. Come on, tell me the first bird that you saw or heard this morning. Or if it's the middle of the night at where you are, tell me your first bird you saw and heard yesterday. And hey, here's the challenge. I want you to actually think about this when you're outside early each day. The first bird that you saw and heard, report back. Let's start sharing some bird nerdiness. All right, folks. I look forward to catching up with you later in the day, and maybe, I don't know, let's think about it. Probably be after I go and buy some fruit and veg. Is that bad of me? I'm gonna do shopping on Anzac Day. See you soon.